Hey there, StarCraft fans! Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be Light versus Flash here on Fighting Spirit. A TVT of the highest levels available. Top left, it is going to be Light. Bottom right, going to be Flash. Now, I know Flash dumpstered Light pretty hard in the semifinals of ASL 21, but you can't use that to determine who's going to win this matchup. So, it's going to be Light. It's going to be Flash. It's going to be Fighting Spirit. It's going to be not a matchup we're going to see in ASL 21. Wait, 22, sorry, because Light will be there, but Flash will not. He's not going to try to qualify. He is retired. Can he come back from retirement? Yes, he can, but he's not going to be there for ASL 22, not even going to try to qualify. I think it took a lot out of him to get to the finals of ASL 22, man, and it was an incredible series. 7 games against Soma, the eventual winner. You can't play better than that unless you win the ASL. So it was the second place by just the thinnest of margins. Oh, Flash, that's how good he is, man. He is hurt, he is injured, he is old, but still good enough to get to the finals of an ASL against somebody as amazing and elite as Soma is and almost take him down. We love this guy, dude. We love him so much for that reason. So, what do we got here, man? Both players doing the exact same thing. Supply depot, cool, into an SCV. Both players at 11 supply. Both players getting racks up. Flash is a little bit faster, tiny bit faster than Lights. I don't think, yeah, didn't have to go quite as far to make his racks as compared to this one, which is further out of the main base there and towards the ground. Now, what's the play gonna be, you guys? Who's gonna get their gas first? Oh, here we go. Light's gonna get its gas first. Flash is thinking about, maybe we're just going to expand. Maybe we're just going to one-racks expand here. It's very similar to ZVZ in that you can kind of just get away with not getting gas or speedlings for a while, but if your enemy goes for a lot of speedlings, it's kind of hard to deal with. It's like you can not go for gas here, but if your enemy goes for a lot of vultures, you kind of just sort of die. So let's see what Flash is going to do. It looks like a one-racks probably to an expand. Probably going to get a bunker up to deal with anything. Incoming Marines are a problem. Incoming Vultures are obviously a problem. Nobody has any idea what's going on out here. So Flash is blind going one racks expand. And going to be a factory down here in opposition for Light. And there it is. Right on time. SCV on the scout out. Going to say, all right, I know Flash is over there. Flash knows this is me too. 662 dad. Going to pull all workers but one off of the refinery. Flash is getting, there you go, is getting his gas. Just means his factory is going to be later, obviously. Are we going to see Wraiths in this game? Maybe. Dude, I cast an insane 2-port Wraith TVT. It was like featuring Rush and Light or something weird like that. It was a crazy weird game, man. If you missed that one, let me know. If you're a TVT fan, you're like, dude, you cast TVTs more than once every 5 years? Yeah, I do. Just doesn't feel that way sometimes. But if you want that one, let me know. Again, opening Wraiths. This was not Wraith because we had tank lines. And Wraiths are the way to break a tank line. No, this was just opening Wraiths because I want to make Wraiths. It was super cool. Yep, racks on the float out. Marine says, you can't scout. He sees the expansion timing and says, okay. So my expansion is significantly late, but that means my factories are significantly earlier. That's a benefit. Vulture production is happening way before Flash can get his Vulture production. So there's the bunker. Yeah, you don't want to have a Vulture show up and just kind of pick off your Marines one by one. They are so good against small light units, which Marines are, but really bad against bunkers, which are buildings. Unless they have the +2, in which case they're kind of amazing against buildings. We'll see. We'll see how they get there. Oh, proxying a starport. Light. Yes, we've seen more and more proxies in the latest ASL 21 and games played in 2026 in general, man. We've seen proxied Vulture into dropship, liftoff into the main base of Protoss and Terran, and it's very cool every time. It is quite possibly the coolest. So Spider Mines are on the way. What else we got here? Like I said, it's just going to be Vultures. It's going to be a dropship. Maybe we'll bring some Marines along too. I don't see why not. SCV is transferring down to the second base for a main arc transfer. It's 29 to 23 workers. That's what Flash gets for getting an earlier expand. But also kind of vulnerable here inside the main base to anything that shows up. Let's be real. Marines check to make sure there's not a dropship or like a proxy anything down here or like a weird command center. It'd be insane to expand that fast, but hey, Flash sometimes gets away with stuff that nobody else can, so you might as well look. So yeah, Spider Mines finished up. This has got to be a dropship right now. A Wraith would be kind of weird to try to do. Dropship it is. Both players working on Vulture speed at the same time, which is kind of funny. But yeah, the Vultures are like, hey, we're going to Spider Mine. We're going to leave some stuff behind in case we get counterattacked. We're kind of afraid to move out right now because, you know, Flash shows up with a bunch of stuff here. The Vultures are all the way down here. It's bad. But let's do it. Let's send them down. 4 Vultures. Yes. Spider Mines are done. Speed's on the way. It's not exactly a speed timing attack because speed will not be done when these guys drop. But that'd be pretty sweet. Not happening. Now, SCV coming out, checking to see, is there anything coming in? And you just missed it, big man. He's building a supply depot. There's the unload. The Vultures are in. SCV down immediately. Vultures defending, but there's only 3 versus 4. He's just going to target down SCVs and try to kill those while the Vultures kill him. Any Spider Mines getting laid? No. Interestingly enough, not really. So that was just to kind of even it up. Remember what I said about more Vultures getting across the map? Dude, Flash has so many of them, but the tank blocking the wall. Excellent, excellent hold on the other side by Light. So this was him evening up the worker count because he was behind because of the later expand. He does it. He kills 3 to 4 SCVs, maybe even 5. So he's down only 2 on the worker count now, and he's walled off against the counterattack of Vultures from Flash. That's exactly how he wants to do this. So, I mean, I'm just impressed Flash has that many Vultures. Let's be real, considering how early his expansion was and how late his factory was. But I guess he didn't build a starport, and he didn't build a dropship. So that's why he had enough money to make those Volts. Goliath in production's a weird choice here from Flash. Did he cancel that? No, he's got one. He's got one because he's worried about drops because, you know, the power of dropships are real. Spider Mines wiping out Marines. And Spider Mine blocking access to an expansion on location here. Flash might as well start building the CC here. Bring somebody in, kill that, and then move it when you need to. Not a big deal. So 2 base to 2 base, but Flash is considering a 3rd. Spider Mine up here and down here in potential expansion locations. Really smart stuff here from Light. That's what we're talking about, folks. More factories in production. The 4th and the 5th factories for Light. It's going to be 3 and just 3 here now. No more being produced by Flash because he's expanding and Light is not. So Light's going up to a higher Vulture count, higher factory count especially. Tank's looking good. I mean, tank count is kind of really bad for Flash. It's 4 tanks for Light, which isn't that many, but it's 1 for Flash. I don't know who's scanning. It's hard enough to get on top of scans when there's 1 Terran player. When there's 2, it's kind of impossible. Dropship scouts in, sees 3rd base, says, okay, if I can move out with 1,000 siege tanks, another factory is on the way. These scans are just out on the map. I don't think these are scans of enemy bases at all. Good old control tower. Fare thee well, we hardly knew ye. Tank count up to 4 for Flash, but it's 5 for Light. And even having 1 extra tank can really make a difference here in a tank versus tank battle. Anybody getting upgrades? Flash is getting +1 for his tanks. Light says, who needs upgrades? What are you talking about? I'm not getting those at all. Getting siege mode, though, and it's done now. So here's the move out. What do we got? 97 and 95 supply, 51 and 51 workers, as even as it can possibly be here. I am interested in to see how this game's going to go from this point, man. Drops are a big deal in TVT, especially as the tank count gets higher. We're seeing Wraith production from Flash now. He says 1 Wraith can be the difference between winning and losing a game, and he's not wrong about that. Light considers just wandering up here and taking a base. Spider Mine's not in location to stop him from doing that, which is interesting. Don't have to burn a scan to do it at all. Again, scans, that's a scan. He sees the tank position, he sees the Spider Mines, he says, all right, well, I almost have an attack upgrade, but almost only counts on horseshoes and hand grenades. And, I don't know, I guess stasis? What other things does almost count for in StarCraft? All right, Vultures diving in, trying to wipe out a siege tank, but I mean, there's just 1,000 other Vultures here, so that doesn't work, but it buys time for the tanks to set up on the center here. Shot versus shot. +1 attack is done for Flash. Light does not have it. He's trying to take down a siege tank without being in siege mode. He does get it. And this guy gets chased away with 2 kills, one of them being a tank, maybe both of them being a tank. Who knows? But Light's attack is arrested right here. It's 61 to 57 workers. The third base is rocking way before Light's third base. Flash has equivalent tank counts here. This is just Flash. He's recognizing I can expand faster and get away with building stuff a little bit later and still be fine. Because it's a TVT. Because you can set up a tank line like this. And even if your enemy has more tanks than you and you're already sieged up, they need a lot more takes to break your tank line. And that is just really not looking good for Light at all. Once again, no upgrades for this guy. Flash has the +1. He's working on a +2. Flash is working on Cloak for Wraiths. Dude, setting up like 5 Wraiths to wipe out a base and just annihilate a mineral line is such a sick move. Yeah, there's the Ooh, going 3 starport here. What is the scan? He scans the main and says, you got any turrets in that main? You got some idle SCVs, my guy. Got to put those suckers to work. He is spending his money, so I don't think the replay is broken, but that's a lot. That's 4 SCVs just kind of hanging out, dude. I guess you're busy down here, dropping a vulture into the 3rd mineral line and into the main base as well, seeing the double starport and saying, quick, get Charon boost, make some more Goliaths. They can handle the Wraiths pretty effectively. Wraiths sharking around, trying to find tanks to annihilate. Not really finding much that way, thank you very much. It's got to be turrets, man. It's got to be turrets. Guess Goliaths. Cloak is not done yet, so every shot you take is taking you down lower and lower on the HP. Wonky game, 143 to 126 supply. Flash is up, but he's investing into Wraiths, which I don't know, man. Goliaths are already out. Wraiths have such a hard time trading against Goliaths. There's the Cloak. So you got to use scans now. There's the scan. You get a free extra couple shots off there, and they wipe out the Goliath without too much trouble. Another one shows up. Wraith does die. Tank gets wiped out, though. Yeah, I don't think investing into further Wraiths is really what Flash is going to be doing here. Production tab says he's making 2 more, though, so shut up, Falcon. Right on. Right you are, sir. So 3 base to 3 base. Sneaking to 4th base up here is Light, though. Kind of love that for him. He's like, I got to ninja a base. Flash is ahead. He's gotten his bases faster than me on the 2nd and 3rd. I have to catch up somehow. But dude, my tanks are getting annihilated by Wraiths, sir. +1 attack on the way for those guys. Not done yet. Oh no, that's actually a vehicle weapons upgrade. My apologies. We're not getting upgrades for Wraiths. What are you talking about? That's not something anybody ever does. Not against, you know, the tanks with 1 armor, and it's so tough to deal with. 3 Wraiths at a time, dude. It is 3 port Wraith in addition to the factories. He's got the 5 facts on 3 bases. He's got it worked out, man. 167 to 150 supply. Wraiths entirely sniping a dropship. This Wraith ball is getting a little bit intimidating, and he's still making them. Cloak's done and everything up the left side. Hey, you want to worry about these Wraiths, or do you want to worry about my attack up the left side with ground forces? You get to choose. The Wraiths are like, we can't really fight these Goliaths, not when they have the Charon boost especially. We come in there, we take 47 hits on the way, and Flash says, time to engage up the left side into a big tank line. By that, I mean there's 5 siege tanks here from Light. He's bringing more tanks in from the right side to try to buff up this line, beef it up, I suppose is the better word there, but Flash bringing some tanks of his own along this direction. Ah, the sound of tank fire in the morning. It is so lovely to the ears of every Terran player. Watching brother against brother here, friend against friend, Terran against Terran fight. It's like Manx says, let no one rise. Against the might of the Terran Dominion, let no human strike a blow against another human. Let's unite against the enemy races. It's very the Emperor in Warhammer 40k. Right, trust not the Xenos or the Heretic. What's the 3rd? Ah, I'm forgetting about the 3rd thing. It's the Xenos, the Heretic, and the Mutants. That's what it is. Or the Mutants. Ah, Warhammer, good stuff. Expanding down again, Flash. Love to see him get a nuke silo, just because, you know, nukes are the greatest things. But Light, for the first time, gets a 4th base up here before Flash does. So, I mean, that's a win for him. It's at 78 workers. Flash is at 85, which is a giant number. And here's Light saying, you know what? I'd be pretty okay taking the top 3rd of the map. And then Flash can take the bottom third of the map, and then we can fight about it, and no one can take the middle because it's too scary. Light taking yet another base up here on his third of the map, right? This is what TVT is and has been for a long time, but then we see drops to counter these tank lines because you can bypass a tank line by using flying things. Who knew? Like, we knew that was always possible, right? Getting into battle cruisers, getting into wraiths has always been a way to break giant tank lines at the 35-minute mark. But doing it a lot faster these days, Terrans are like, okay, let's just get to the business here. We can use dropships to get things like tanks and Goliaths into positions to kill bases, and they're not as squishy as wraiths are. And they do more damage to things like buildings, so they can actually kill a base, whereas, you know, wraiths hunting around aren't super great at taking out a whole CC, whereas, you know, a bunch of tanks and Goliaths are certainly amazing at that. Yeah, look at this. A couple turrets? No, not happening. So we're splitting the map diagonally at this point. I think Flash is going to try to take this. Light's going to try to take this over at 9 o'clock. Once again, everybody keeping an eye on the center. Is anyone taking center? No. Good. That is so much better. Both players effectively maxed out. Both players developing banks here. I mean, I guess Flash is maxed out and Light's not quite there yet. So tiny advantage from him. +2 attack on the tanks for Flash. Light's got +1 attack on his. Not even close to a +2. He's trying to catch up in the Wraith count, which seems like a tough idea. Oh, never mind. Flash is taking this base. Okay, and Doom dropping up the left side. Oh, no. So look, Light pushing down the right side. Flash dropping up the left side. Thinks about dropping up the left side. Says, too many turrets for that. Plus, I'm not sure I have enough to stop this. If he gets down to my main base, that's going to be disastrous. So how about we... Oh, gosh, Light just intercepting this. Okay, Flash really wanted to do something there, and Light was like, how about not? How about I just be buttoned up tight enough you can't, sir? I'll keep pushing down this way, and we're going to drop on this. Sieged up. Goliath's not really in a position to handle this. These dropships are the most confused lost dropships. Finally, they unload. This is not where they were planning on unloading, but they do. Look at, I love this. Both players sending tanks to the 6 o'clock to defend it or kill it. One of the two here. Dropships taking a lot of Goliath shots. Golly, huge amounts of damage. I'm not sure if there's enough tanks here to hold, but Flash with the counterattack up. Vultures up into the 12 o'clock. Just Vultures, though. Siege tanks on the response. Race on the response. A couple SCVs die. Nothing really at the end of there. More SCVs are going to die here, as they're just trying to get friendly fire tank splash on these tanks. That's the only way they can defend themselves. SCV count 73 to 79 as Light is up now. Dude, Light is looking okay here. More tanks. You got to lift the CC. He can't just let the CC die to siege tanks right now, can he? Unless the drops are in time to save it. And they kind of are. Targeting the CC. Don't worry about the drops. Target the CC. There's only one more shot. No! He doesn't target the CC. It gets saved by Repair. Flash holds it. He gets to the drop at the very last second. This game is bananas. Oh, and that's it. Flash taps out. Wow. After saving that 6 o'clock base, he's like, you know, Light, hats off, man. You got this thing won. He's pushing up the left side. He lost too many workers, right? Light is just really holding on to the 12 o'clock, holding on to this whole corner in the top right, which is massive. Flash does not have the equivalent bases down here, at least not running as much. So great game there from Light. He was behind on that second and third base. He got the fourth base faster. He locked up against that drop. This turret positioning is perfect. He's locked up over here. Flash wanted to be aggressive, had to be defensive, did save the base, lost a few too many workers there, though. And I want to check. Did he really didn't have that bottom left quadrant, did he? No, he does. He totally has it. What's our worker count at after these guys get annihilated? Yeah, Vultures come in here, get nothing done. It is 79 to 77 workers. It's a bigger army for Light. Yeah, but look at this. We have this, we have this. We're taking this. Flash doesn't, or Light doesn't have this yet. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that GG timing. Not a big fan of it. But if we're looking, Yeah, this drop is really economical. It's really fantastically efficient there. I guess it's a 20 supply difference, right? 158 to 181 in favor of light. He's pushing down this direction with this many tanks versus this many tanks of flash. I think he just knows this drop coming down, there's not much he can do about it, right? Does he have anything in these drop ships? No. He's got exactly 6 tanks responding to at least 12. Okay, exactly 12. And he's like, yeah, that's it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Wow. GG. That was awesome. All right, super fast forward time. We'll watch that again, but yeah, good stuff by Light, dude. Able to sneak down to the 6 o'clock of flashes with tanks, whereas the counterattack at the 12 o'clock was only vultures, which is so much easier to deal with in a TVT. And again, the early expand by flash gets punished by the vulture attack where SCVs die, and it helps Light catch up a little bit economically. Third base timing, again, faster from flash. Light gets his started, but holds off an attack here early by flash. Gets a fast 4th base in the top right. That's another major point in the win here. Such a great move. Amazing. Great stuff. Like, really, really great game there. And Light showed. He's like, yeah, I got dumpstered by Flash at ASL in the semifinals of 21, but he's not going to beat me like that every time. And this is a great example of it, just that. 120,000 total points to Light, 111. Wow, here from Flash. So the numbers are just outproduced, outkilled, right? These are big. Structures raised, 3 to 4. The outspend here is somehow, someway outspending. I guess that 6 o'clock, that attack really hurt the economy. A lot more of Flash than maybe we expected. So that's amazing. That is some great stuff by Light. A bit of an upset there for sure. Woo-wee! That was something. All right, well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.